the world feels like it just froze in place. Tupac Shakur, the man everyone believed died back in 1996, is back. But this time, he hasn't returned to make music. He's come back with a mission to expose Jay-Z and Diddy. Before we dive into the details, stay with this video until the very end, because what you're about to hear is shaking the entire industry.
It's been confirmed Tupac is alive and he's been living in Cuba all this time. This is a photo I snapped of him with my Nokia phone. That's the only phone the Cuban governors would let me bring into the country. He's been living in Cuba. This is a small farm that he lives on that he does more for just a hobby, and he says connect to the earth. This is the local bar that he sits at and grabs a beer every day. I talked to the bartender and they said we love him. We didn't know that it was Tupac, and this is his fishing boat. He says he goes fishing almost every day. And then he eats the fish. He said, you can't beat this life. I asked him, you were so talented at the rap music age. Why would you just leave the scene? And he said, you know what? You might not understand it. And I said, please just tell me the reason, Tupac. I think, we respect your privacy, but I do think you owe it to the public to let us know, because you can't just hide that talent. And the answer that he gave me is just humbling and astonishing, and I'll share that in part 2.
Switch it up, Bleak. At one point, Tupac switched his energy and he was somewhat coming at Jay-Z for some time.
This was on the Machiavelli album. That was on the Machiavelli album. Around that same time. Where he was like, Jay-Z from the Hawaiian Sophie fame.
Jay-Z from Hawaiian Sophie fame.
I'm bad boy, Jay-Z got to. Leaving the strip club, Coco's in Miami. But they used to sell the bootleg tapes out there. This is before the Machiavelli album even dropped. Had it. So I'm like, let me get it, because I want to hear it. You know what I mean? Get in the van. So remember, this is when Jay was riding in the turtle top.
So you don't know.
So I get in the turtle top, you know what I mean? I put the tape in, and that shit into the part. Yeah, Jay-Z too. That's what Jay said. What he said? And that whole was back there steaming, like, turn that shit off. We listened to the album.
That's real.
We listened to Papa's dope.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, at the MGM Grand, was just another false flag that played out very, very well. And people bowed down and people really worshipped what happened because they thought that their idol was taken and it wasn't right. So of course, everybody really believes what happened at the MGM Grand happened. But what people don't know is that the MGM Grand is also well known for human trafficking, drug smuggling, organ harvesting, not to mention the other things that they get away with trafficking throughout the casino. Whether it comes from for their own restaurants, whether it's something for their own casino. MGM Grand is one of the biggest casinos that are well known for the things that have happened. It's just everybody looks it over because it's Las Vegas. Nobody questions it. Nobody digs too deep into it. But that was the false flag. That was supposedly what happened, right? He was shot in the car in front of the MGM Grand.
Tell me about Tupac. Can I explain something here tonight that I hope y'all clap, because I'm about to say exactly what y'all think. White people always, I can say this because I'm so not a racist. White people call Tupac.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I know.
If it was Tupac, it would have a K. You're not the first. Hopefully after tonight, you will be the last.
Everything has come to a standstill. Social media is in chaos. Newsrooms are scrambling for answers. And the music industry is in sheer panic. Why? Because if the reports are true, Tupac Shakur, the legendary rapper the world thought was murdered in 1996, is alive. Yes, you heard correctly. Tupac, whose supposed death sparked endless conspiracy theories, documentaries, and debates, has returned, and he hasn't come back quietly. He's here with a vengeance, determined to reveal the darkest secrets about Jay-Z Jay-Z and P. Diddy. For decades, fans speculated that Pac faked his death, hiding in places like Cuba or Mexico, waiting for the perfect moment to resurface. That moment, it seems, has finally arrived, and now Jay-Z and Diddy are reportedly terrified. Because if Tupac really starts talking, everything they've worked on for over 30 years could collapse in an instant. Think about the weight of this. For decades, Tupac has been a global symbol of resistance, truth, and rebellion. His words lived on through his songs, interviews, and poetry. He warned about corruption, betrayal, and shadowy figures in the industry. He openly said there were people trying to silence him. If he's back now, then those warnings weren't just lyrics. They were revelations, hints, and unfinished pieces of a puzzle that he's ready to complete in front of the whole world. And the two names at the center of this storm, Jay-Z and P. Diddy. This is not just another celebrity headline. This is history in the making. Tupac's death in 1996 was supposed to be the end, tragic and final. But if he's alive, then the biggest lie in hip-hop history has just been exposed. Reports suggest Tupac hasn't returned to claim fame or money. He's back to reveal who tried to bury him. Not just his career, but his life. He's allegedly ready to name Jay-Z, the mastermind behind an empire that seems untouchable, and P. Diddy, whose ongoing trial has already turned the music business upside down. The internet reaction was instant. Twitter exploded with hashtags like Tupac is back and Tupac exposes Jay-Z. TikTok was flooded with videos analyzing every detail, every lyric, and every old interview, now reinterpreted as evidence that Tupac had been planning this return all along. Fans even resurfaced one of his famous quotes, "I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I will spark the brain that will." But now people are asking, what if he was talking about himself? Meanwhile, Jay-Z and Diddy's reactions are said to be explosive. Industry insiders claim that the moment the news broke, both went into immediate damage control. Diddy, already drowning in lawsuits and scandals, is allegedly panicking, calling lawyers, moving assets, and bracing for the worst. Jay-Z, usually calm and strategic, is rumored to be furious. The man who's always been 10 steps ahead never prepared for this, a ghost returning to haunt him. How do you silence someone the world thought was dead? Jaguar Wright, known for exposing industry secrets, immediately spoke out. She insisted this proves everything she's been warning about, that powerful figures in the music industry worked to silence Tupac so others, like Jay-Z and Diddy, could rise to the top. According to Wright, Pac's return is proof that the industry has been hiding the truth for decades. And here's where things get even more shocking. Tupac isn't returning to perform concerts or release albums. He's coming back to tell the truth. Reports claim he has journals, recordings, unreleased footage, and a list of names. People who betrayed him, people who built their empires while he was gone, and people who know far more about his death than they ever admitted. At the top of that list, Jay-Z and Diddy fans are now revisiting Jay-Z's lyrics for hidden clues. One particular line from his track "The City Is Mine," "They thought I'd die in prison, guess the system works," has resurfaced, with some suggesting it was a coded reference to Tupac's disappearance. Others question the timing of Jay-Z's rise in the late 90s, right after Tupac's supposed death. Was it just coincidence, or part of a larger plan? Diddy, too, is being re-examined. His frequent involvement in hip-hop's darkest scandals now looks far more suspicious in light of Pac's return. But the story doesn't end there. Whispers online suggest Tupac isn't coming back alone. He's allegedly aligning with whistleblowers and artists who were pushed aside by the industry, people with nothing left to lose. Imagine Tupac joining forces with Jaguar Wright and a new generation of frustrated artists. That's not just a comeback, that's a revolution. Sources say Jay-Z has been calling in favors, reminding allies of what they owe him, while Diddy is clinging to his shrinking circle of supporters. Both men know that if Pac proves he's alive and begins naming names, the fallout could be catastrophic, triggering investigations, lawsuits, and the collapse of entire empires. And the fans? They're loving it. For years, people said Pac's spirit never truly died. They pointed to inconsistencies in the crime scene, mysterious sightings in Cuba, and unreleased tracks. Now, with these reports, those believers feel vindicated. They're saying, "We told you so." Pac was never gone. He was waiting for the right moment. If Tupac really goes public, it will rewrite everything we thought we knew about hip-hop. The heroes will become villains, the legends will become suspects, and the carefully built empires of Jay-Z and Diddy could collapse overnight. So the question is simple. Do you believe it? Do you think Tupac is truly back, ready to finish what he started in the 90s and bring down Jay-Z and Diddy with the truth? Or is this just another internet conspiracy conspiracy spreading like wildfire? Whatever you believe, one thing is clear. Jay-Z and Diddy are rattled. Their names are trending worldwide, and the ghost of Tupac Shakur is louder than ever. As Pac himself once said, you can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months overanalyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move on. But this time, the world isn't moving on, not until the truth comes out. And here's the part the industry doesn't want you to consider. What if Tupac's return isn't about revenge or even personal justice? What if it's about tearing down the entire corrupt system? Because Tupac was never just an artist. He was a revolutionary. He wanted to dismantle the walls that kept voices like his silent. If he's really back, then this isn't just bad news for Jay-Z and Diddy. It's a threat to every powerful figure who's used money and influence to bury the truth. The ripple effects could be massive. Lawsuits, canceled deals, and once untouchable names dragged into the spotlight. Jay-Z and Diddy may be panicking now, but they're only the beginning. Because when Tupac speaks, the world listens. Always has. Always will. And if he reveals what he's been holding in for almost 30 years, the industry may never recover. The empire will fall. The illusions will shatter. And the fans who demanded the truth will finally get it. That's why Jay-Z and Diddy are scrambling. Because deep down, they know the one force more powerful than lawyers, more powerful than billions, more powerful than influence is the truth. So here we stand, on the edge of the biggest story in music history. Tupac Shakur didn't die in 1996. He's back, and he's ready to set the record straight. The real question is, are Jay-Z and Diddy ready for what's coming? Because the storm they thought they buried nearly 30 years ago has come back to life. And this time, there's nowhere to hide.